Yep.
Ba-da-bum, ba-dum. Ba-da-bum, ba-da. Ba-da-bum, ba-da. Da-na-na, na-na-na. Da-na-na, na. Wow, it's a podcast.
Hey everyone, it is a podcast. That's not incorrect at all. Ha-ha.
Aha! Hello. All right, my name is Chris,
Hello. I'm not Chris. I'm James.
and this is the Paperfree podcast, part do so, part
Pardozio.
secondios,
Yeah.
part the squeakquel, you know.
Back it up a bit. Also, just your chair because you're in the lighting.
Am I in the lane?
Yeah.
All right, I'm now no longer in the lighting.
That's for the edit. All right, we're gonna edit that out, or we won't. Who knows?
You know, we're gonna edit this perfectly wholesome part out. James, I love you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And now no one will know.
Now no one will know. So,
Fun fact, that's the only time anyone has ever said that to me in my entire life. From the moment of my inception all the way up to now, June 25th, 2018.
fun fact, I lied.
Well, all right. Take that number. It's a 1. We're just going to fold that right back into a 0.
Is that how you? That's not how numbers work, though. That's how fingers work, but that's not how
Fingers
numbers
are so much
work.
more flexible. You can do this. You can do this.
Oh man, are you Spider-Man? Is that Here,
I'm
wait.
Spooderman.
You ready for the Spooderman?
I'm Spooderman.
Okay, none of y'all about to recognize me.
No. No recognition. Oh, shit. Yeah, I always fuck that up. It's like, how
You don't know who I am. Hi, this is the Paperfree podcast. My name is Spitterman.
I'm librarian woman.
I am an arachnoman.
I establish orderly placements for the books according to the Dewey Decimal System, and I make sure that children are not too loud.
Might hurt my wrist. So
Yeah, I'm saying you really have to bend that shit back.
I know,
It's
it's-
flexible.
Ugh.
I don't like it at all.
I don't like it at all either.
All right, never do that again, anyone.
And plus, I feel like my skin's still a little. We had a full day today where we filmed the show, so I feel like I'm a little dehydrated. I feel like my skin's a little bit like, eh. So you know what I'm gonna do instead? Drink ice cold Diet Coke because that's water.
Yeah. Actually, fun fact, I used to think that Chris only drank Diet Coke because every time we would hang out, he would just drink Diet Coke.
Also, a fun fact: I'm type 1 diabetic. Other fun fact: I've had this paper-free challenge for 6 months
How many
at this
months?
point.
Whoa.
6 months.
That's a lot of months.
And I have actually never let anyone know on camera that I'm diabetic. So I am actually type 1 diabetic. So
If that doesn't get cut, then that's the truth.
So basically, all I drink is water and Diet Coke because neither of those have sugar. Because sugar kills me slowly inside.
As it does us all.
As it does us all, but me in particular, because I have to be like, oh, how's the beatus? And then my body's like, it's fine. And then it's like, oh, that's great because I'm not drinking regular Coke or something incredibly sugary.
Yes, the good folks at Diet Coke sweeten it with fun and love. And it's the only reason that Chris might not have to take his foot. We might not have to surgically remove his foot.
Or take my eyes out.
Yeah, is that
I actually am having trouble with my right hand.
Whoa, is that diabetes related?
No, it's just dry skin, I think.
I was very worried first. I was like, it's the eczema. Who cares?
Now the good news is my diabetes is good. I'm a good diabetic.
Yeah. Look at this studly young muff.
No, so the eyes and the feet are the nasty spots in particular because the feet, gravity brings the sugar down. So if you have a lot of extra sugar in your bloodstream, it goes down to your feet.
Oh yeah.
So it rips shit up in there. Your eyes are important because the vessels in your eyes are the smallest in your body.
Yeah.
Or some of the smallest in your body. So if there's big pieces of sugar roaming around there, rips that shit up too.
That's not good. So
it's
wait,
not good.
Would you go by Sweetfoot if the sugar was just kind of inhabiting like 1 foot? Would you be like, yeah, call me Sweetfoot on the streets. I sell cocaine. Would you go by? Would you adopt a new identity? Because
If I were selling coke on the street, I would go by.
You go by Sweetfoot and then by No Foot.
I go by. I go by. Little sweetie.
Little Sweetie.
Little sweetie.
Young Sweet.
Little sweet.
Minuscule Sweet.
Little sweetie.
Tiny Sweat.
You'll be rolling up and it's like, yo, this is the best guy. This is the best guy in town. I'm totally inflating my own ego here, saying I'm the best coke dealer in town. When I've never dealt coke. But then people would be like, this is the best coke dealer in town. They'd be like, oh, who's he? He's like, it's a little sweetie.
17.5, same color T-shirt. Look to the Migos. They'll tell you all about.
They'll tell you about Little Sweetie.
The lifestyle associated with selling the kin, the Colombian Blanco.
I feel like there's a lot of late nights with selling cocaine. There's a lot of like, wait until 4 a.m. because right around 4 a.m. is when I expect someone who wants cocaine is going to get their, or who is on cocaine is going to want their cocaine, I should say.
Well, yeah, because I feel like there's the initial, like, you know, like, oh shit, like, it's like a party. Like, people get drunk and then they're just like, oh, cocaine, I work in a business. I want and then, like, maybe the cocaine runs out, and so then they're just like, hey, dude, you got more cocaine? And you need to be like, it's like 5:45 a.m., and then are you willing to, like, make the, you know, track?
Well, the way I was thinking about it is, like, if you're out for a party or something like that, you know, you do your bump at the beginning of the night, so, you know, you have your jolt of energy. You do your drinks, you do your... And right around that time where, like, 3 a.m, 2 a.m, where you start to kind of, like, lose that energy and that hype, you're like, I don't want to drink anymore. I need more cocaine. But then you realize, oh, shit, well, there's no cocaine. But first, instead of calling your coke dealer right away, you're like, I need some food. Because anyone who drinks is like, fucking food. And then right around that 3 a.m. time, 4
Anyone
a.m.
who
time...
cocaines is like, nah, I just need more cocaine. I don't need anything else.
But again, when you mix them, you get that drunkenness, and then you're like, but then, you know, you got your boys, or you got your girls,
a Big Mac
and you're like, I want to keep this party going. I am not done yet. I feel like I should be done, but I'm not.
You fully snort a Big Mac.
You snort. You snort nuggets. That's what you do.
Oh, nice. Just think of it. The fried batter, just the chicken paste that they squeeze into several pre-approved molds for the nugs. Beef and cheese just filling those nostrils. There is no greater rush.
If you do it properly, you can even like bang your head around. You can feel the chicken nugget going around in your head.
Right in there, yeah.
Right in there. That would probably be a very interesting sensation. Have a chicken nugget lodged in your head. James, how much money would it take for me to surgically put a chicken nugget in your brain?
Like to just insert it in the middle?
Like just anywhere, just
like
just somewhere near the surface. I just crack your head open. Like while you're under, you don't feel anything. You know, you get little stitches. You have to have some damage. And there's just the chicken nugget in you.
It's not the surgery that I'm really concerned about. It's the fact that there's just going to be like a nugget. Well, okay, you know what? I will say this.
How much money though? I'm not saying like would you do it or not. I'm saying like you have to do this.
Okay.
How much money are you getting?
As soon as we wrap this podcast, I'm getting lobotomized with a chicken nugget.
Pretty much, but like
frontal lobe, chicken nug.
Well, you know, maybe I'll go easy on you. I'll put in like the back somewhere where it's like. I feel like the frontal lobe.
Dealer's choice on that one. Like
where would you want it? Okay, that's a better question. Where would you want it in your head? Because I feel like the front of your head is like that seems like an important bit right here.
I think a lot of people.
This bit doesn't seem to be quite as important.
I think I would put it and be like right here.
Kind of.
You know, because like if you know, it would look like if I could.
I
could get a really tiny hat that would just be on the side of my head that would look like, you know, like I'm like a little sailor child pose for a picture. It's like. You know, like, and then if people asked about it, I would just tell them I'm a bit of a dandy, and they would never need to know about the nugget.
Yeah. Just there are audio listeners, in case someone is listening to this audio, you said kind of right above your ear-ish.
Do we even output an audio?
Yeah. I throw this up on SoundCloud. We have
SoundCloud. Check it out. Plug the link. What's that link?
It's Paperfree, Chris. I don't know the link.
We don't know the link. We'll put it in the description.
It's in the description. You can go listen to this on SoundCloud if you
tell your friends. If you're commuting to work and you want to hear about, hypothetically, hopefully, a chicken nugget being inserted into a man's brain and the adverse effects thereof, you know, like...
I mean, okay. What's the worst that could happen if you put a chicken nugget in someone's brain?
A lot. But to answer your earlier question, $45 is the lowest you could get away with paying me to do that. And also, I wouldn't be that mad if it was like... Because, like, let's think about it, right? Let's say you put, like several fresh strawberries inside of my skull, right?
Okay.
And then you sew it back up. Those are going to, like, decay pretty quickly, right? That's going to cause, like... I'll probably die. It's going to cause some serious issues, you know? But, like, even let's say, like, oh, I don't know, like a preservative-free yogurt or something. Or, like, even that's probably more efficient and space-wise, but would still kind of, you know, it's going to go bad pretty quick. Or, like, a nice brick of aged cheddar cheese. I like that a lot, in fact. But the chicken nuggets are forever, right? They're just like...
A chicken nugget never dies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A nug is forever. Like, the McDonald's food is, like, so, like, just, like, jacked full of, like, non-natural things and just preservatives. It's basically, like... Like, the chicken nuggets at McDonald's are like the food equivalent of like what Iggy Pop did to himself with years of heroin use,
Jesus.
which is just he just basically like embalmed himself while still alive. So his body is just perfectly preserved like an Egyptian pharaoh, and like same with the nugs. Like imagine like the cats that got like preserved in tiny urns alongside the Egyptian pharaoh to accompany their journey into the afterlife. Those cats are the nugs, and they live forever technically, and they're looking great. They're looking great 3,000 years after the fact. So to answer your question, I'd be like 6 out of 10 not thrilled with the nugget, but probably 10 out of 10 not thrilled with anything else because I would die.
I know, yeah. You could do a lot worse than a chicken nugget.
$45.
$45.
$45.
That's not a lot of money.
No.
Not a lot. I could pay you that right now. I literally have $45 on me.
Yeah? You gonna do it?
I don't have the surgical know-how to
Yeah,
insert a
right,
chicken
all right.
nugget
Oh,
into
you're
your
talking
head.
big game. Oh, fuck.
Now,
Put chicken nugget in your
now
head.
the thing about that deal is I guaranteed you would wake up afterwards, which I can't do off of $45 of my own skill. I can't guarantee after putting that chicken nugget in your brain, I'll actually be able to.
You're not gonna hire the
bring
surgeon.
you
You're not
back.
gonna hire a surgeon to do a good job. You could make news headlines. You'd get enough from ad revenue from the media attention you would get because you'd be the first person in the history of the world, or I would be the first person.
I know you'd be a case study. You'd be quite the case
to
study.
allow a McDonald's chicken nugget to be surgically inserted into their head. And that's like a world all-time first. That's like the guy, like the Russian guy who like is the world's first head transplant. We're just gonna put a head on top of a different body and see if that works. They're doing that now. Check it out. Science. We'll find a link, or we won't.
Oh shit! What this means is I have to find the link sometime.
Or we won't. There's
Or
a
not.
There's
We'll figure it out. There might be something in the description. We'll see. Okay, James. How about this?
Pop it.
How about this?
Yeah.
How much would you need to make
Geez. Oh jeez.
for someone to put a literal hole from one ear to another?
What?
Like so you ever heard the saying in one ear out the other, right?
Yeah.
So there's literally like a
talking like-
hole you can see through
Yeah.
your head.
Yeah.
And you can see out the other ear. How much?
But
Like,
I'm sure there are things in there that I need.
we can push them out of the way.
I mean, you could just push it elsewhere.
I know you could. Well, I mean, yeah. You just push it out of the way. That way you can get that hole.
I'm thinking of two things right now, like those like shitty like prop comedy things where it's like it's like an arrow through my head, but just kidding, it's a thing that I put over top.
But how fucking dope fresh would it be if you could actually stick like a stick through your head, put like the arrow bits on the other end, and be like, "This is a Halloween costume for the rest of my life."
How fucking dope fresh would that be?
That'd be pretty dope fresh.
Well, actually, that takes me back to actually something I was thinking about earlier, which is like if you did lose an eye to diabetes, right? Like
Sure.
Halloween costume, rest of your life. Same thing. You lose an eye and a foot to diabetes, you go as a pirate every year. It writes itself. You could.
I feel like if I ever wore an eye patch in real life, and whoever ever wears an eye patch in real life, I feel like they just can't stand pirate comments on something like that, and I'd probably like be actively avoiding talk if I was ever talking to someone about with an eye patch, be like actively avoiding anything pirate related.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I mean, like, like you meet anyone with like an obvious, like, kind of like identifying physical feature of some kind, it's typically not polite to just be like, hey, it's like a weird forehead, huh? Like,
But even just to
it looks like you have a chicken nugget in your forehead, huh? Like, if you just met a person like that, you wouldn't just say that to them. They're probably very self-conscious.
Well, I'm also not sure you could really identify someone with a chicken nugget in their head. How
They're
would
very
be-
identifiable shapes. There's like the one where it's kind of like up and then
it's
there's
in
like a
there.
little
It's in your
peninsula
brain.
thing
It's-
on the top of the chicken. Yeah, but if it was like right here, you could see like it.
Well, I mean, like if it's like on the skin. Then
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like it's in your head.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, like you can't. It's pushed in your brain. We just kind of like we pick apart your brain. We just kind of go, and we just put it in there, and then we close the head up, and then you hopefully wake up.
I'm liking this. It sounds like a good idea.
$45.
I
Could
can
be
see
yours.
no downsides.
$45.
I'll open this up to our audience. If anyone knows a surgeon that would be willing to perform this medical procedure, send us some info. We'll consider it.
I mean, yes, we'll consider it.
Anything for entertainment.
I mean, yes. Would it be worth the joke?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
unequivocally.
Not saying that would I do it. No.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't, I defend your right to not
Yeah, I know.
have a chicken
But
nugget.
then again, we're different people. One of us happens to have a piece of chicken in our head. One of us doesn't. That's just how we do.
Well,
That's just how we
we're-
be.
We're quite similar right now, at least physiologically, in that none of us have a chicken nugget in our head.
Says you. You don't know.
I wish.
You don't know.
I wish.
You wish.
All right, well, while we're on the topic of food, I have a question for you. What is the best kind of pie? And what's the worst kind of pie? I'm going to go antithetical, and they're both citrus fruits. Best kind of pie, key lime pie. That shit is awesome. Worst kind of pie, lemon meringue pie. Meringue, what's the deal? It's kind of just insubstantial, and then the lemon is often kind of like, it's like Jell-O, sort of, like it's... it's all wrong. It's an abomination. It doesn't need to be here. Key lime pie, it's thick with 2 C's. It's fucking excellent. It's got the graham cracker crust. You can put whipped cream on it if you're feeling adventurous. It's basically the entire chief export of Key West, Florida, if you've ever been there. So strip clubs and key lime pie and spring break. And the house that Ernest Hemingway owned when he shot himself in the face with a shotgun.
Aggressive.
Those are the things that Key West is proud of, but mostly the pie. But
that's their best export, eh? Key West pie and Ernest Hemingway shotgun shells.
No, it's like a house. There's like a house. They like advertise. They're like, oh, check out this house where Ernest Hemingway lives, and face.
They just forget to mention the part where he died there as well. Jesus Christ.
This chair really reclines.
This chair goes right the hell back.
Hey. Wait, you want to do a synchronous recline?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
I did another
you
one.
went a second.
I went a second time.
What the fuck?
We take it up a notch here on the Paperfree podcast. We take it up a notch. I'm gonna do a full 360
rotation. If I did that, I'd put a dent in your wall like I usually do. So.
I know you gotta be. I was like, actively like, don't do it. Like,
you didn't hear anything.
All right, so the best pie.
Yeah, best pie.
The best pie.
I've made my case. Let's debate it.
Man, I'm gonna go with the classic, just apple pie. You get like
That's fair.
a good apple pie, and you put a little bit of whipped cream on it. Ice cream if that's your thing, and then you got yourself a delicious dessert. Just delicious dessert.
I think it's a good all-American pie. You pretty much can't go wrong.
Who the fuck doesn't number one? Who the fuck doesn't like an apple?
Exactly, that's where I was going.
Yeah,
who the fuck doesn't like? It's like Italian food. Who the fuck doesn't like Italian food?
There's also 3 different kinds of apples. You can get like a nice red, like a sour Granny Smith, a sweeter golden. There's so much choice. There's 3 choices.
There's more than that, I think. But because I saw like a billboard one time, or it was like one of those like bus station advertisements, where they're just like, check out all these motherfucking varieties of apples, and they had like a whole like snaking thing where they just like it was just like a pathway kind of like in Candyland, right? But then they just had different kinds of apples all the way through, like from like the spectrum from like reddest to like greenest. Side note, so I heard a story about the old like original lady, like Miss Granny Smith. She was I don't even know how to say, a bitch. And she was, you had an apple orchard, and then like they planted the apples somewhere different for a change, and then they kind of like just do something in the soil or something. They came out like a different kind of apple. Like the first mutation of the apple, like that became the Granny Smith apple, and she's like, oh man, these are disgusting. She didn't even try them. She's like, these are green. They're supposed to be red. These are unchristian,
abominations,
vile. And then so what ended up happening is like the boys that she hired in the neighborhood, like the strapping young lads to like pick her apples in the orchard and stuff.
She whipped them.
No, that's not on historical record, but I'd like to believe, in my personal headcanon, she did whip them. No, but they would take that shit because she didn't want them, and like she just sort of like threw them out. And then like they took that shit and they're just like, oh my god, this is delicious. And so then they started just kind of like taking them from like the orchard and like selling them or like giving them to their friends. And then all their friends were like, what the fuck? This is like incredible. Oh my god, this is like the warheads, like sour warheads or like Sour Patch Kids.
Can't confirm. I'm a big fan of Granny Smith apples. Gotta say.
Yeah, and then Granny Smith found out about it. And she's like, what are you boys eating? Those apples? And then they're like, yeah, they're delicious. And she's like, give me one. And then she had one. She's like, fuck, these are delicious. I'm going to sell them. You can't have them anymore. And she was just like, no.
Capitalism.
Yeah.
That's how.
Well, I guess, yes. Maybe not a bitch, but like a staunch capitalist, Like,
she's out for herself, looking to make her quick buck. 15 minutes of fame that turned into 150 years of fame. Little Granny Smith.
You know what? Actually, like,
what a saint.
She's a self-starter. Women in the workforce have always faced barriers to just making a decent, livable wage, and especially the older you get, the harder it is. And so, you know what? I retract that earlier statement where I called Granny Smith a bitch on 2 separate occasions, because I think actually she's
lovely
quite an
lady,
admirable figure.
Stand-up woman.
Stand-up woman.
Started selling Granny Smith apples. If that was just like a cliquey thing, then maybe we wouldn't have had Granny Smith apples. Maybe, in fact, those kids were actually the bad guys in this situation. Maybe they were the bitches. Because they were like, yo, this is mushroom. And they're like, they shared it with a friend. And they're like, but no one was sharing it with anyone else.
No, definitely not. Because, like, I mean...
They weren't, you couldn't get it at the supermarket. Those kids weren't letting you do that.
Yeah, but I mean, have you ever worked in an apple orchard? Not that I have. It's like physically intensive labor. The amount of times of, like, in improv, like, people will just go for, like, apple picking if you have to, like, just pick, like, a thing,
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, but I've not to brag, but
I remember at one point
improvised picking apples many a time, and that was some strenuous fucking work.
I don't know why. Okay, when I was back in high school, I remember whenever we used to do drama class, we'd always.
Anecdote incoming.
Well, it was no. This kind of related, but it's like I don't. Okay, maybe you can explain this to me. Maybe there was some inside joke that I was missing here. But for some reason, for one of a skit in like a full grade, they would just get me to chop wood, and that was like some joke that I would just chop wood.
What?
I don't get it. Like I never got it. But everyone was just like, "Chris, you're gonna be over in the corner chopping wood." I was like.
What?
Okay.
Wait, what do you mean? Like, what was the context?
There was no context. They were just like, whenever I was in a skit, they were like, Chris, you gotta just be chopping wood, and then you can come in late. I was like,
what?
I don't know. I'm being totally serious right now. There must have been some inside joke. I was just wondering if you knew about it, because again, like for a decent, like I must have been like grade 9 or grade 8 or something like that. Every time I did a skit in drama class, that's how I'd start my scene, just chopping some wood.
Like regardless.
I'm
of
not even
context?
I'm not doing like a this. Like
Yeah.
I'm jerking myself. Like I was chopping.
Yeah,
like I was doing
like
chopping
horizontally,
wood.
like
yeah.
you're supposed to chop a large tree.
Well, I mean, like you can stop. This is how you chop stumps.
Yeah, it's no, well, like.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
and this also how you just jerk off a big dick. But like kind of the same
I didn't
thing,
need
like-
that information at all.
Well, you get it. So that's what you get for being on the Paperfree
I
podcast.
already know how to jerk off. a
Sponsored
big
by
dick, Chris.
ridiculously large penises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have a visual aid, but take our word for it.
Well, no, it's fine. So, anyways, I was just curious to know if you ever knew anything about
3
that.
inches, 2 inches. All right.
3.5. Talk to the hand.
But it is interesting. how, check this out. Your mind's about to be blown. Yeah, when you're chopping a tree, it's horizontal.
It's horizontal.
But then you chop it into tinier bits, and it's vertical.
Bam.
Wow.
It's.
What's that about, huh?
I bet.
You're chopping on both axes, all right? It's a multi-directional chop.
All right, I need everyone to close their eyes right now. You too, audience. You hear that?
Yeah.
That's the sound of a man chopping wood.
Great. Was this going somewhere?
No, I just wanted to demonstrate that I could successfully warp you into a world that you are not in, where individuals are chopping wood.
I'm a chopping of wood.
I'm chopping the wood.
Okay, wait. To your point, you're wondering what the fuck the joke might be about?
Yeah.
2 things, right? Like,
Sure.
Okay, so like, one is this like Fairly Odd Parents, like the cartoon Fairly Odd Parents about 2 fairies that there's a young boy named Timmy Turner and fairies materialize and they're like, we're your fairy godparents. Fairly Odd Parents was the show. Wow.
Yeah, not Fairly
I
Odd Parents.
fucked that up. I'm so sorry. They're fairy godparents, but the show is Fairly
Fairly
Odd Parents. They even
Odd.
rhyme it in the theme song, and I'm the title card. I'm sorry. But yeah, there's like they had this running joke where like one time George Washington's in an episode and he's like meth obsessed. He's like must chop wood. And like every time you see George Washington, he's like a psychopath. Like he's this like OCD compulsion to like.
Was that
chop
George
wood.
Washington from Fairly Odd Parents?
I don't know. That's maybe I think that's all right. Like, the kids these days. That might have been what they were going for. The other one would be like is it like the Monty Python like lumberjack song? You know.
No, that's a different story, actually.
Oh.
I remember we actually tried to do... Okay.
It's
okay.
I'll
Sleep
sleep
all
all
night
night
and
I work all day. Something about wearing women's clothing and hanging around bars.
It gets slowly more girly, but I remember... That's another story. We're in grade 12. We went on like a camping trip, right?
Lumberjacks in drag.
And we tried to do that as like a skit, like a campfire skit, and failed miserably. And it was very awkward.
It's like nobody
moment.
knew the words?
No, yeah. So Will and I... Will.
That's
yeah.
a guy.
It's a guy. Will and I think it was Will. I think Will and I tried to do the song together, and we had everyone else like kind of. We had like about 5 other people in the background, like doing like doing like the orchestral like he's a lumberjack and he like that kind of shit. And yeah, we all kind of failed miserably. And it's one of those things where it's like when I say it to you, I understand that it's a very underwhelming story, but when at the same time when I was in grade 12 and awkward it was a very unnerving and like gets in your brain and it's like I remember this forever, this awkward moment where I'm on stage and we're singing this song and I'm like, he's a lumberjack and he's okay. He works all night.
I would kill for that footage. I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't think that there was ever any footage of it.
I would straight up like break a stranger's neck on the streets to get a hold of footage of that.
I'm so glad that when I was younger, like
I won't do that.
Footage doesn't exist to me during like my incredibly awkward moments. Like I probably have like a photo or two that's kind of like, okay, I probably shouldn't have taken that photo, but I don't feel like I have too many video from when I was younger, so I'm gonna make up for that right now with what I do in life.
I do too. Like I have a lot of photos of me. Like when I was in high school, I used to look like Augustus Gloop, like the really like portly German kid with a bowl cut and lederhosen from like the first fifth of Willy Wonka, who gets stuck in a pipe of chocolate.
Gott im Himmel for till up until like grade 10, 11, you were kind of like that, but you actually got really fit in grade 12. Like you started really going to the gym and like really.
Look at me now, yeah.
I mean, you look fine right now. Like
I look acceptable.
You look fine. Like yeah.
Thank you.
I don't mean that. Like, I mean you look pretty. You're very pretty.
After the makeover we did last week, I think it
I know,
did a lot
Jesus
for my
Christ.
self-confidence. But
Well,
yeah.
man, it also destroyed my self-confidence. So you have to go. First half of that thing, we're calling each other like fucking disgusting pigs.
No.
Okay, I was calling everyone disgusting pigs, including myself.
I'm great. No, but so I have a lot of these photos, like up still online of like me, like as a child, being like and then like doing goofy stuff, and it's like really like to look at them now makes me like pains me physically. But a thing I think about often is like I'll sometimes I don't use like social media very much, but something I'll be like going through my Facebook or something like sometimes, and I'll scroll way down to the end of the timeline thing they got going now, and you look back at like statuses you posted when you were like 13 and just discovered Facebook, and like those are awful. Same thing, you're just like involuntarily, and like it's up there forever is like my point. Like it stays forever. Like the kids, like like my sister's generation, like just like I'm an old man talking intergenerational politicking and behavior.
Is your sister Gen Z? Is she a millennial?
Yeah, Gen Z or whatever.
She was born like 1999 now.
I mean, they're all just like arbitrary delineations. Right?
Well, I mean, Gen Z
like,
just is after the
generations,
millennial, right? So like
yeah. But yeah, I mean, like just like the kids who grew up like with more like this like the more prevalent that social media has been like in that kind of a like.
It's been around. Like we were truly the generation where like we started using social media.
Yeah, straight up. But like now it's just like you could be like 8 years old, right, and using social media, and like the stupid shit you post on there is forever. So like, what if you're just like thinking like you're like, oh, it's like in 40 years time, it's like, oh, sorry, Timmy, like you said the N word when you were 12, and like you can't be president now. Like,
now you are going to be ostracized from society. Not saying like it's acceptable in any like I'm not but I'm saying kids say stupid shit and yeah.
He's saying it's acceptable.
Now saying that at the same time, when the Facebook news came out, where like Cambridge Analytica was tracking all your information and gathering all your information and shit like that, right? Yeah. I actually went back and deleted like the first 3 years of shit I ever posted on Facebook. I just went back and like gone. It took fucking hours. But really? I did it. No, I went all the way back.
Yeah, but that's not deleted though. That's still on Facebook servers.
Well, no, it's just not visible. So Facebook still has the information. You're right. Like Facebook has that information.
It's forever.
But if an app were to act like only Facebook has the information though. So again, it depends on how much you trust it.
Well, only Facebook just means every company just like, hey, Facebook, you want a nickel? Oh shit, fuck, take all this data, take all
the way Cambridge
personal info.
The way Cambridge Analytica did it was they do very much the same thing of like if you log onto like an app game or something like that and they say connect with Facebook, you have to be like, yes, connect with my Facebook. That's basically what they did, except they took way more. They not only took the information of the people that logged into that program, they took everyone that you were friends with. So. So what happens is like they were able to access you and look at your profile as if they were logged onto your account. And since you're friends with all these people, they were able to look at all their information. So that's where the sketchiness came from, which is like if I get a game and I say, okay, I'll connect with Facebook, and they usually give you a warning, which is like, we're going to have access to this, and this. This is what we're looking for. Sometimes they give you a reason, sometimes they don't. That's fine because I'm opting into that. Like I'm saying, I'm giving that app permission to look at my Facebook pretty much and to connect with it. But where Cambridge Analytica did their thing and why they were so sketchy is because they not only got the profile of the person that actually accepted being connected with their Facebook account, they got everyone else's that you're friends with.
Right, so like you mean like Farmville?
Yeah, like exactly. Like any
Thank God I dodged that bullet.
Woo! But again, if like your sister or a friend logged into
you
Farmville,
talk about my sister.
But I'm just saying, like they could have your information
even to make a valid and cogent point.
So the point of deleting your Facebook is that if any new app does that, they don't have access to that information. Only Facebook has that information then, and Facebook can sell that information to some high buyer. But that's also Facebook. Doing their shady. I don't fucking know. But the point is, like,
at least you know the person who has your data.
At least you know that my data is at least expensive.
They paid good money for it.
I know it's expensive.
We're seeing none of that, but it's all good.
I didn't just click a button and they have access to all the information. They had to pay Facebook like good money to get that information.
Yeah, the way I heard it put one time is just like if you're not a paying customer, like you are the product.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like anything, every social media site you use for free just looks like data, viewership, habits, information you post, opinions, like everything that's for advertisers to enjoy.
I thought there was an interesting. There's this interesting idea not going around. There's an interesting idea I heard,
Circulating.
which was a social media where you pay $10 a month to be a part of it, and in what you get for that is they actually don't keep your information. All the information that you put on there. They don't sell it or anything. It's just there. So
can you guarantee that though? Like,
I mean, that's kind of the vibe. That's what the company promises, basically. They don't sell your
but,
information.
I don't trust. Like, not to be like a fucking tinfoil hat moment. I don't trust.
You should never trust a big company. You should absolutely never trust
corporations. Like they don't. It's not that they're like necessarily actively malignant. It's just that like they just want money and they don't care about you as a human being. So it's
let me put it this way. It's not that they're emotionally malignant. It's more just they have been in the past. So. Clearly what they're doing is working okay because Facebook is expensive as fuck and Twitter is expensive as fuck. And all these different social media accounts are expensive as fuck because it works.
Like the platforms, you mean? Like
yeah,
like they're like market.
The process
market
of gathering
sharing?
Information, creating a platform that encourages you to share information.
Yeah.
Creating a platform that is useful, but also through its usefulness, gives the company access to your information, such as Gmail. Gmail is a big one. Gmail, they take all your fucking information. They know exactly what you're all about, and like Google knows a scary amount about you.
Oh no!
Like scary.
No, like I have a Hotmail, and it means that like
that's Microsoft though.
I know it's but that means that Microsoft has access to every grow your dick pill, every Nigerian prince scam that I've responded to. Like every Craigslist misconnections classified I've posted up, everything. Everything. That's all. It's all unsavory. It's just a
no wholesomeness here in the James household.
Like my digital history is the equivalent of like if you're walking down like in Queens in New York, like you pass by like an alley at like 2:30 in the morning and it's kind of just lit enough for you to see some and there's like there's just kind of like a vague rustling in the alley and there's like mountains of trash that are spilling over and like you can definitely see like a syringe that was used to inject some kind of intravenous drug and like the empty beer cans and like there's like a cat darts by and the cat has like diabetes Igon and it has like fucking fur like patches and you're like oh you got baby I don't know but that's the equivalent of my like internet history just to visualize it like it's not a pretty place.
But at the same time, you should be able to go on the internet and be like, oh, what I'm doing right now should be none near god darn doing business. And doing business. So what you gotta do, everyone listening, is go in incognito mode.
Yeah, it doesn't do shit.
Go in incognito mode. It means no one sees anything. That's what that means.
Google's upfront about it. They have like a little disclaimer in the incognito mode, right? Where it's just like, yeah. Whipping your fingers. Google's like, whip your fingers.
Incognito
be careful, because it's serious.
Incognito.
But, yeah, they have like a little disclaimer, right? They're just like, heads up. Like, like, people who use this computer, they can't see your search history, but Google can, and your ISP can, and pretty much everybody still can. So your mom won't know that you're busting nuts if you're 13. Everyone in the world will know that you're busting nuts, though.
Well, the point of it is just gets rid of all cookies. That's basically what it does. It stops a website from constantly tracking as to whether or not you were there.
Yeah.
That's basically the point of it. It just doesn't keep your history, basically.
I don't even care what Pornhub does with the analytics data.
I actually think Pornhub does the more interesting things with their analytics data. Have you ever every year they release all that information, right?
And we're back to porn.
I mean, you bring it up, and
we're
then
back to porn. I'm not. We're rolling with it.
We're rolling with it.
Yeah.
But have you ever seen all the data that they have of right? Have you ever seen this?
No, I haven't. But the equivalent for me, I always think it's kind of a funny concept. You know what I mean? Because I know that you can search.
Here, wait. Where's my phone?
They have a what's popular section on YouTube. It's what are people jerking off to right now? Or you can sort by country in the world. What's Belgium busting nuts to right now? What's Belgium up to sexually? It's. But yeah.
Just keep riffing for 6 seconds.
Alright, well, I'm gonna talk about things. What's Pornhub.com? What's Namibia feeling? How's the internet access? What's the deal? In more sexually repressed countries, I believe I heard it quoted one time that they have more of a hits for gay porn kind of a thing because it's the same thing with just like, man, all those like really kind of like hard like gay hating like evangelicals, like half of them are just like really
Okay, so here's just some
and closeted. And,
all
like,
right, so
that's
here's
not great, but
here's some information about Pornhub in
took a
2017.
serious turn.
A year in review. There were 28.5 billion annual visits to Pornhub, 81 million daily average visits.
81 million.
25 billion searches performed. That's 50,000 searches per minute and 800 searches per second.
Wow.
There are 4,000,000.
That's a lot of Sears catalogs.
There are 4,052,000 videos uploaded in
Yeah.
2017.
Wow.
That's so to give you a perspective, that is 68 years worth of porn uploaded just in 2017. It's a lot of porn.
That's another thing too that I think is kind of fun, or like just makes me personally a little dismayed. Like not just porn, but like the fact that like so much more content is being uploaded to the internet. Like the rate at which it's being uploaded is like vastly outpacing the rate at which any of us can actually like watch it, right? Like so it's like, and a lot of it's
Competition.
Just, a lot of it's just shit. But like it just means like a lot of like genuinely really good content is gonna get buried in the digital mire, and then it's like maybe like 15 people are gonna see it, you know, and but or like hear your like Bandcamp thing, but it's like it's amazing back in the day, and like I don't know, like back in the day and stuff. Like I guess like traditional distribution mediums are like a barrier of access, right? Like and so I guess it's good because like you know like like if you want to put out a record, you got to go through like a record company and music label. Like you want to put out like a TV show, you got to go through like a TV network. Now it's like you can just do it on the internet or whatever. But it's like you know fucking nobody's gonna see it maybe, but I don't know. I just wanna experience all content, you know, like, cause like I think like, if you built a supercomputer that could process, you know, with some approximation of a human intelligence, like all of the extant information on the internet, right? Like, would it be like a god level intelligence at that point? Would it become like more because it's just like it's this massive information that could vastly outstrip the human brain, or would it be a big fucking idiot? Because like,
Well, I mean, have you ever?
most
There
of
was
the
that
stuff on the internet just like it's like erotic fan fiction and just like you know like racist comments and just the like YouTube videos and like you know like.
Well, I mean, there was that experiment a little
tweeting.
while ago. There was
My
that
Twitter feed garbage.
There was that Twitter bot a little while ago that was an AI and basically learned from looking at Twitter posts that users successfully made into making anti-Semitic comments.
Oh no.
Just through
you mean like 4chan did that?
Well, yeah,
probably.
but like it was a Twitter bot and it was run by like I think it was like a Microsoft thing where they tried like a Twitter bot and they actually had to take it down because it started making these like
definitely 4chan.
No, it was definitely a 4chan
like,
thing.
oh, like a company like wants to try to do something. You know, like they're just.
I know, but they
sabotage.
successfully tricked this or taught this AI
Yeah.
like how to say certain like hate speech things, and it was like I know the company was like instantly took it. I was like, okay, we need to fix some bugs.
That's a great.
It'll be back.
That's a great.
It never came back. I haven't seen it since. But I remember that was the thing. So what I think would happen is there's a lot of good information on the internet, but there's also a lot of really shit information. And for example,
incoherent or just like.
I mean, like there's a lot
even
of just,
worse, just mediocre.
anybody
you know,
can
like-
create a website about anything in the world, and that's amazing in so many ways. But then you also get so much misinformation. That's kind of the fake news epidemic that we're having right now, which is anyone can say anything on the internet, and like people will just like look and it's like this is my bias and this is my belief, and it was like fucking share. And then you know we got you know people with polio again. Not polio. Whooping cough. Who the fuck gets whooping cough nowadays?
You've lost me. Whooping cough, and then they came from the trees, and then just like suddenly
And then there was this, like-
extraterrestrials, and then the globalists.
There was this tiger person with 7 rings on one hand. I don't know how 7 rings are on one hand.
freaking frogs gay. suddenly we're Infowars.
Jesus Christ! This is a bit now. We are Infowars. Ugh!
Yeah.
Can't believe the Democrats
I don't-
using their Pizzagate mind controlling devices in order to get the babies and turn them into frogs that make the frogs gay, and they make
Exactly.
them into babies, which will become Democrats.
Exactly. Hillary for death. No.
But
Okay.
the emails,
Two things.
emails.
I don't even know. Pizzagate. 2 things. I have an Alex Jones soundboard on my phone, and it's great. Very entertaining. You can download it from the Google Play App Store if you have an Android, or presumably the Apple App Store. I don't know. I don't use Apple products. Fuck that shit. Woo! But, okay. Have you ever done the thing, if we're getting into the Infowars kind of mode here, have you ever done the thing where, like, you just, like, you, like, try to yell long enough without actually yelling? You kind of just, like...
I gotta admit, I haven't done this, but I'm curious to know. Jesus Christ, what are you doing? Your face is becoming like beet red.
That's what I'm saying. You basically apply like pressure to the blood vessels in your face, and you literally you can make yourself like I've seen people make themselves pass out doing this, and like that's how red you need to get for Alex Jones.
Jesus Christ, that's scary. I've never done that.
Nah, well if you want to pass out on camera, you could do it right now.
I don't want to pass out on camera.
Okay.
I'd like to be very conscious on camera.
All right, you know what? We're just gonna take that. You just put it right in your pocket.
We know we got. We got to
keep that.
You know where we're gonna put it, James? We're gonna put it in the back of your head, the back of your mind.
No, it's busy. It's full of chicken nugget. I don't have any more room.
The chicken nugget's back there. Gotta move it kind of in the middle.
I'm really warming to this idea. The more we talk about it, the more we talk about it, I guess it's happening.
This is
now.
what we gotta do. We gotta contact McDonald's, and I know the most hilarious thing about this is where I'm going with this. You don't eat McDonald's at all. Like James has just sworn off McDonald's, which is fine. You're allowed to do that. That's totally cool. You're right as like a consumer to like do a silent protest of a company. That's fine. However, how fucking hilarious would it be if you were given like if McDonald's is like you get free shit for the rest of your life because you put a chicken nugget in your head? Like, would you just like you just can't eat it?
McDonald's definitely wouldn't even hold that up. They wouldn't do it.
Oh no, they wouldn't do it. But it would be interesting to see if McDonald's would be like
McDonald's would not endorse that at all. They'd be like they would fully like they'd like legally it would be like they'd have to distance themselves from it because
Jesus Christ, no, don't do this.
It would be the next like kids eating Tide Pods. Like that's not.
I know. What happens? Why wasn't the meme just kids eating chicken nuggets?
Because that's the intended purpose of a chicken nugget.
Can we make that a meme? Can we meme
just
that?
People eating chicken nuggets?
Like, you know how there's like fucking dumbass memes like nowadays? Like, can we just have a meme that's like just man eats chicken nuggets? Wow.
Eats chicken nuggets like a boss.
Like, yeah. Or like, the success baby, but he's holding a chicken nugget and he's like, fucking chicken nugs.
Yeah.
Rage comics are funny.
Rage comics, where have they gone? VH1's Where Are They Now? On this next segment, we're going to dive into what the fuck happened to Rage Comics.
What the fuck happened to Rage Comics?
What the fuck? I don't know.
That's early internet, like, shit. That's like, yeah.
Funny Junk is early internet. MSN Messenger, early internet. America Online, that's early internet.
Okay, we're not talking like that early.
Okay, but
we're talking like the internet has been around for a bit, and it's like
2000s.
Okay, so like
things started to really heat up around 2000.
Should we say let's go with juvenile internet? It's the juvenile internet.
It's babby internet.
It's toddler. No, it's not babby. It's toddler.
Okay.
We're talking toddler.
Babby.
So it's when they start drawing like funny pictures on a thing, and they're like, it's funny, and then
that's true actually, because like babies they just have the capacity for annoyance because it's like I'm a tiny bit, I can't really move and I can just go
I need to just exist so I can develop into like a fully intellectual thing.
Yeah, and they're irritating as fuck. But like toddlers, they get to that age right where they're just like they have like oh shit, like my literally brain has not developed the ability to control impulses, so I'm just gonna do everything. It's like I want to write on this wall with a fucking Crayola, like I'm gonna do it. Like I want to just run and yell and just like eat like plum sauce and just have it like be on my face and not give a shit, and then just like wipe it on a couch that my mom purchased. It's not specific, but like toddlers just have that capacity for destruction. And,
I feel like that is like a self story there or something like that.
No, I wish. I wish I was eating those nugs back as a baby boy.
Oh, one time when we were younger, we were given bingo markers by like bingo markers.
Bingo markers.
Like no, okay, bingo.
Big stiff.
Not
bingo markers.
Okay, just like the wood. This doesn't
mark
like
it
a dick
on your card.
Not even it wasn't even me. We were given bingo markers and we wrote on the couch. It's fine.
All right. Yeah, sorry. You're going someplace with this.
We just drew on the cart. We just drew on our fucking couch. That's all.
That's a good story. I like that.
Oh, another funny one was my brother. My younger brother. Once when we had the bingo marker, he wrote his name on the wall with the bingo marker. And then denied it being him.
It was Chris.
It wasn't me. That's your name. Wasn't me. Who was it? It wasn't me.
Saw me riding in the kitchen. It wasn't me. Saw me riding in the bathroom.
It wasn't me.
Even wrote it in the shower. It wasn't me. She even got me on camera.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, so
she
saw the marks on my toaster. It wasn't me, like, I don't know.
Oh, was that actually a song? Because I was like, that's really funny.
You haven't heard this?
No.
It's by Shaggy. It's such a good song. You know,
to be honest, I don't just listen to Shaggy. I know Shaggy. I don't just listen to Shaggy.
You gotta listen to Shaggy.
Okay, that's a lie.
You look like Shaggy from the Mystery Team.
Okay, that's a different kind of Shaggy.
Sorry, Mystery Machine
also,
Team.
Blessed be our Lord and Savior Scrappy Doo. The puppy power. You wouldn't get that, but the Guardians might.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you made it that far. hit me with a hashtag puppy power. Hit me on Twitter with your hashtag puppy power.
Literally,
and I'll be like,
literally
aha,
he's
you
fishing. He's fishing for your love. You should not tolerate that as an intelligent.
Well, no, just because I'm curious. Like, if you made it this far in the podcast, congratulations. Hashtag puppy power me on Facebook. Or not Facebook, on Twitter. And I'll be like, oh, wow. Tip of my hat to you, sir. Thank you for sticking around with us for so long. Thank you for coming in here and looking upon us with your lovely eyes as we I'm going to keep cutting you off. As we continue to smell ding dong on the internet.
Yeah, but it... So now that we're gonna... Oh... free to talk. If anyone's still listening, congratulations, because I would have tuned out. Once the tips start coming in, even
once the tippy taps,
everything.
All right, James. What do you have? You have like a little list here. Is there anything else on the list you want to hit?
Let's talk about fedoras for a long ass time. Yo, shout out! By the way, there's a store on Queen West in Toronto called Brims with a Z, BRIMZ, and this store, it's like a big ass like fedora logo, and they just sell hats, but I think predominantly fedoras. So like, go out and buy yourself a wicker fedora, because
you always look 100% if you wear a fedora.
Okay.
100%.
All right, let's just go real quick. Okay, what kind of people can pull off fedoras? So I'm just gonna go right off the bat here. Older jazz musicians, detectives, even though I know technically the detective thing is a trilby hat. Who else? Jesus, like,
I remember...
That might be it.
I one time I remember one time, I didn't hear it. I read, like, a post somewhere. I think it must have been on Reddit. Where it's like, what a fedora does to you is, if you're on a scale from 1 to 10, what is it? It halves you.
You got it. Go.
It halves your level and then pluses it by 4. I think that's what it is. So if you're like no, that's not what it is.
Okay.
It minuses by 4, then doubles it.
Okay.
Okay. So if you're like a 6 out of 10,
yeah,
you put a fedora on.
So you
minus it by 4, so you're 2.
2.
And then you double it, so you're 4.
Yeah.
So you've gone down 2 points.
Yeah.
If you're a 9 out of 10,
yeah,
you minus 5 by 4.
4.5. That's 5.
Minus by 4. Minus 4.
That's
5.
I can do math.
And then you times it by 2, so you go up to a 10. So if you're a 9 and above,
yeah,
you can actually pull off the fedora. So if you're like an incredibly good-looking dude or lady, you can pull the fedora off. So I think the threshold is you have to be an 8 in order to break even. So if you're an 8, you minus 4 times it by 2, you're an 8 again.
Right.
Anyone under a 7, you can't pull off a fedora. That's the point. You're going to look worse.
Interesting.
Because you wore that fedora. I think I just nailed it. I think that's what it was.
That makes sense. Even though it's really arbitrary.
Like, I mean, like if you're a 7, then you go down to a 6. If you're a 6, you go down to a 4. You're a 5, you go down to a 1.
And we all know that you can and should rate people's attractiveness, both inner and outer, on a sliding scale from 1 to 10.
I know, it makes them
just
real
tell them
classy.
to their face. Don't even refer to them by name. Just be like, hey, 4, hey, 8,
hey, 11.
Yeah. Well, if we're doing Spinal Tap.
I was on Spinal Tap. That was a Stranger Things reference.
Ooh. Shout out to @MillieBobbyBrown on Twitter. Respect. I think she deleted her Twitter
No,
recently. People were mean?
Yeah, and well, to be fair, it's a pretty aggressive joke that was happening against her. So.
Well, I don't know any more about this. So.
The joke was simply just that people started quoting her on things that she clearly just wouldn't be quoted on. Like, incredibly just hateful things. It was kind of a joke.
That's like what Eric Andre does in his show.
Yeah.
He'll just have a quote that's like fully like... So, like, he'll just, like, be reading his, like, talk show host cue card. Like Kelly Osbourne is the guest. And be like, you said, like, we should, get rid of the Jews? And she's like, I absolutely did not say that. And then he'll just, like, throw up, like, an animated title card with, like, Kelly Osbourne in, like, a circle. Just, like, no Jews. And, like, just, like... Or, like... He calls, like, Howie Mandel, like, George Zimmerman. And, like, he does that all the time. He'll just attribute, like, really awful things to, like, the guests that he has on. And I'm just kind of like, I didn't do that. I don't think like that's real. I don't. Yeah. But we don't do that here, do we? This is not a hateful place. This is a place of love. And
we're also not quite. We're not quite Eric Andre and can get away with like a joke quite like that. I don't feel.
We're not quite all there mentally either.
We're not quite all there mentally, or physically, or sexually.
I don't even know what that last
or
one. Or
emotionally.
How do you be all there sexually? Like you just.
I don't know. You go for whatever when it's presented to you.
Case closed.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so what's the topic that you had today?
Well, another thing that I wanted to talk about, and that I wrote down to talk about. I'm so sorry.
Damn, that burp.
I was untoward of me. Please forgive me. Just like so, I just.
For our audio listeners, he's taking a bow. I think. I think he's bowing. He's
10
bowing.
bows.
10 bows. Jesus Christ, a lot of bows.
10 bows. All right. Yeah, we were talking about this earlier whilst on the subway, and I was talking about how, like, how many sequels is too many? You know?
Oh,
Like,
okay. So we're gonna. Okay, sure.
So I was saying, like, pretty much, like, you're not, like the third, like, iteration of any franchise, or, like, even sequels usually suck, you know? But, like, if you're making a third one or a fourth one, like, you know what I mean? Shrek Forever After isn't... I use the word abomination a lot, but, like, if ever there was, like, a piece of entertainment that just needs to be, like...
Award-winning.
1984 style, stricken from the historical record
won
and
an Oscar.
erased from people's consciousness just as time passes.
Cameron
and we
Diaz
forget.
and Eddie Murphy are national treasures.
Starring Lord Farquaad.
Is he in that one again?
I think he might be back. Yeah, I don't.
He's
Maybe
in the first one.
Maybe it's some new douche. I don't know. But
It's too bad almost because the second one in particular, but the first two Shreks are actually really good. They're still good films. They still are. They're still really funny.
why didn't Lord Farquaad get a spin-off is my real question, because that is something people I would pay to see that.
I've also heard the Puss in Boots film isn't bad either.
Really? They made but that's Antonio Banderas is just like
I like him. I quite like Antonio Banderas.
Spanish voice acting.
I really like him. I think he's always been very good. Like whatever he does, he always just kind of nails it. So like
He was the dad in Spy Kids 1 through 3.
yeah, and he nailed it. Spy Kids 1 is a classic. Spy Kids 2 was fine. Spy Kids 3 was pretty bad, but you know.
Yeah, Spy Kids 3 was like okay.
That was like 3D on the cusp of actually becoming.
Yeah,
3D.
like when like early like nascent like 3D like so two things like one Spy Kids 1 my favorite part Cheech Marin of Cheech and Chong marijuana smoking comedy fame is their uncle and then just like just like Tito Cheech like what's good he's like I'm not your uncle fuck off. It's great, it's the best part of the movie. And then in the third one dude like it was like early 3D right and then they had like Sylvester Stallone in like
the villain, yeah.
a purple like Willy Wonka-ish suit and top hat and a wheelchair as the villain.
He played like the game maker or whatever. Like he created the video game.
Adrian got stuck in a video game.
He also has like all these different personalities, and he plays like 7 different characters, but they're all like very surface level characters. Also, by the way, Creed, fantastic movie. Really excited for Creed 2.
All respect to Sylvester Stallone.
He should have won the Oscar. He actually should have won the Oscar for that film. He was phenomenal in Creed. Have you ever seen Creed or
no?
Oh, well, Sylvester Stallone. No, he's phenomenal in Creed.
Alright, well that's the thing, right? So like Creed is what? Like they made like how many Rockies? Like 5 Rockies and then a Creed, or
I think
at
5,
least 4 Rockies. Like okay, I was talking to with my brother the other day, and we can't remember all the Rockies. So Rocky number 1, he fights Apollo Creed, but like loses by decision, right? Even though Apollo Creed like respects him finally, he does.
Well, he made it through all the rounds. That's what I'm saying.
He goes the distance. That's all he wants to do. He like proved to everyone that he could do it. He's the underdog.
What was the one where it was like the Soviets versus the Americans?
That's number 4.
That's 4.
Number 2, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Number 2 is when we like I think he has a rematch with Creed, and then he gains his respect finally. That's when I think where they end where they both.
They both.
Right, like they end on the freeze frame of like punching each other in the face, and then they're friends now. Number 3, right, Mr. T's character, who like I'm not even sure like if he's playing himself as Mr. T or like if he's like a character, but like Mr. T, B.A. Baracus possibly from the 18. Mr. T fights him and he's like a big hot shot, right? This is a new challenge. Rocky 4 comes in hot, right? James Brown, America suit and tie on top, living in America, right? Theatrics, Dolph Lundgren with a dirty flat top, Ivan Drago kills Apollo Creed in the ring, and then that's the stakes for that one, you know? Then Rocky goes to Siberia. Okay, 5th one. I stopped giving a shit after that.
I'll be honest, I got to stop giving a shit after the first one.
Alright.
I've seen the first one, that's it. I've never seen that they
You
are.
call yourself a white guy. It's like white people's like national franchise, you know?
I don't know, but no, it's
Well, actually, I take that
Pennsylvania's,
back.
I
We're
guess.
not allowed to have like a nation of collected white people. That's not.
No, we just kind of exist in this spot, and we're just like, this is ours, and then people are like, no, it's not. It's like, it is ours.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Not a fan.
So don't worry. Well, we're fully aware. We're fully woke. It's cool.
All right. So Creed is like what? Like it's like a sort of. It's like a.
Well,
tangent.
Creed is
It's
like
a spin-off of like.
Yeah, it's a spin-off, but it's different
it's-
enough that it kind of takes away from the same universe, but it's clearly
Yeah,
like
they named it a different
yeah.
thing.
But no, Sylvester Stallone was robbed of an Oscar. He was phenomenal in Creed.
Really?
Yeah, he won the Golden Globe, and he won the Emmy. No, not the Emmy. He won the Golden Globe.
Cool.
So
those matter.
I mean, it is something. He didn't win an Oscar though, and it was too bad. Well, he's also won an Oscar before. He's won the Oscar for screenplay for Rocky.
Really?
He wrote.
I
wrote
would have
Rocky.
guessed Expendables 2.
Oh no, he didn't win that.
That's too bad.
No, he didn't win an Oscar for that one, but he actually won the screenplay Oscar for Rocky, the original Rocky.
Sweet.
So he's actually Oscar award winning not actor, but Oscar award winning Sylvester Stallone. But he should have won the best supporting actor because he was so good in that film.
All right, I'm gonna take your word on that one.
Like watch, like honestly, just watch. Like I'm gonna end this, but just watch an analysis of like his performance.
It's like I will stop going off.
Watch an analysis of his performance. It's phenomenal how much effort he put into it and how much he like just gets in the character. He knows that character.
Go on YouTube.
Anyways,
yeah, he's been doing it for fucking ever.
I know, but he can rock. He plays the character so well.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Like
how many sequels do
Lou
we?
Ferrigno is he's a lifetime achievement award for being the Hulk. That's his thing. Like if you asked Lou Ferrigno, could you be the Hulk today? He'd probably be like, yeah.
I could do that. Well, I mean, he's old now.
You know? The Hulk never stops running, baby. You know.
That's why they got Mark Ruffalo doing it.
Yeah, remember when Edward Norton was the Hulk?
Oh, I still like Edward Norton. I think he's.
I like Edward Norton like a lot of things, but like the Hulk Ed, I don't know.
I don't know. He seemed. I mean, like, let me put it this way. I just don't think the Hulk movie he was in was very good.
That's fair.
I don't think he was bad in it necessarily. I thought he was fine. Like, he did it. Like,
right.
It's like, you know, someone else could have gone and they got someone else to do it, but like, he wasn't like a bad choice for it. He was just kind of like, Edward Norton. I guess he didn't feel like doing the MCU, so you know, or maybe they were just like, yeah, we'll just get someone else in here. I don't know.
He was probably like, I'm out.
But anyways, how many sequels? Too many sequels.
Right. Well, like the Hulk, right? Like the Edward Norton Hulk movie, right? So like Lou Ferrigno Hulk, they probably made a couple. Edward Norton Hulk, Mark Ruffalo Hulk. That's at least 3. To me, that's too many Hulks. Like, you know, like I understand that, like, you know, as a comic book character, like comic book, that's the whole thing. You just create a big super guy, then you milk it ad infinitum. You know, you're just like, wow, how many?
There's definitely another Hulk in there too.
Things. There's more Hulks, I'm sure. Like fucking.
There's definitely another Hulk in there.
There's probably so many Hulks, you know, like, but it's like, yeah, all the superhero franchises, like, oh, how many? Let's make a billion Captain Americas. Let's make a billion Thors. You know, like, let's make Cars 3. You know, like let's. It's like a lot of, like, I just feel like it's too many sequels, you know?
Hulk actors.
How many Hulks? How many Hulks? How many Hulks? Gonna find out how many Hulks.
Eric Baume was also the Hulk at some point.
Nice.
This dude. He played the Hulk at some point.
Oh, nice. Nice, damn.
Here's a photo of Eric Baume. I'm going to edit this one anyway.
Gary Oldman, award-winning actor.
Oh, finally. Oh, my God.
Gary
Thank
Oldman
God.
was the Hulk. Meryl Streep had a brief stint as the Hulk.
And she was phenomenal as
Steve Buscemi was briefly considered, but ultimately passed over for the part.
Funniest one.
Absolutely the best one. Alan Alda, in a TV only movie, a spin-off. Albert Brooks did like 3 episodes of a live action Hulk TV series before it was promptly canceled mid-season by NBC. That's how they do sometimes. I think that's about it. I mean, like, I'm not a comprehensive expert on the Hulk because I don't give a shit. I don't watch anymore. I stopped watching superhero movies a long time ago because it's just like it's too much.
I watched the major ones. Like, yeah. I saw Infinity War. I saw Black Panther.
Like,
I saw Captain America: Civil War. I watched Ragnarok when it was out on DVD.
I'll give that one a pass only because Taika Waititi directed it and he's a great.
You should watch it. It's actually a lot of fun.
I did see that one.
Oh, you actually did see that one?
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
I still didn't really like it because it's a superhero movie, but again, I'll give it a pass. I like Taika Waititi. You know, it's a fun time.
It's a fun time.
Like if a superhero movie has to be the way that like more people get exposed to the work of Taika Waititi, like that's cool, whatever. Like if that, like I'm sad, but like if that's the way it has to be.
I mean, he's all signed up with Disney to do a few other things now.
Oh, nice, my man.
I think he's gonna do some like of the animation stuff next, and
sweet.
I don't think he's doing another superhero movie.
Yeah, it's probably not.
Let me put it this way. I don't think he is. Don't quote me on that, but which is too bad because I thought his one was really good. If you liked, you should see Guardians of the Galaxy. Have you ever seen Guardians of the Galaxy?
I've seen both of them actually. Second one, Kurt Russell is an aging piece of garbage. Like his character's that's just a dickhead. Ego's a dick. Hence the name Ego.
Okay, so you've seen the Guardians of the Galaxy because they're the ones I thought you.
First one I actually support. I will give it.
Yeah. Okay, that's the series I thought you would like.
It's the one. It's just the first movie in a series of just the one movie at the time. Great. Like well, we're gonna have a fucking Chris Pratt.
Well, it's also separate enough
fat
from
Chris Pratt on Parks and Rec.
He
used to be chunky as a motherfucker. Now he's big. He's good thick. He's Tom Hardy thick. You know, like all
he's
the
Tom
right
Hardy
ways.
thick.
And he's a new Hollywood hunk.
I think he's put a little bit more weight on. I think he's kind of like he got really jacked and then he got divorced and now I think he's a little bit chunkier. But
everyone gets a free pass for
I know,
divorce.
I think it's a rough time. You're allowed to cut off some ice cream.
You hit the bottle. Your life is in shambles.
You're just a mess. Pick yourself up, sir.
Yeah.
No, I'll respect to Chris Pratt. Because he wasn't just a fat piece of shit, and then he was given the role by James Gunn, and then he was like, I'm actually going to try for this.
I didn't say piece of shit.
He just kind of was. Like, even he admits, like, he was like, oh yeah, I was fat and, like, lived out of my van until I got this show, until I got the role in Parks and Rec.
Really?
Wreck.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a success.
Oh no, he was like a tough ass working actor. Like he was like grinding hard.
That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, and he made it. You know, he's huge. He's probably one of the biggest stars out there right now in the world.
That's what I'm saying. He's like the latest like Hollywood hunksicle, and they're casting him all the new like there. Boom. Okay, another series of things that does not need to happen. Jurassic World 1 through 3 at this point. There were already 3 Jurassic Parks. There was based on a book, an already extant intellectual property by Michael Crichton, author also of Westworld. Which like okay, fine, Westworld was great. I'll give him that.
Did he? What do you? He wrote Westworld?
Yeah.
Like the show Westworld?
No, like there's a book. Actually, so the book Westworld, that's Michael Crichton, and then also they had like a 1970s, I think, or like early 80s movie called Westworld.
I'm sure
like, it's a lot cheesier with the special effects, and it's like kind of fun actually, but it's like shitty.
Oh no, yeah, like it's not a good film, but it's kind of funky it's fun to like look at it and be like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Like
Neat.
it's an interesting idea.
Then they did the TV show, right? But like yeah, but Jurassic World's like.
By the way,
too
episode
many.
episode 10 happened this Sunday or last Sunday. Really good show.
Don't you say a fucking word because I haven't seen any of season 2.
It's really good. It's season 2. Well, number one, season 2 doesn't have that weird lull at the beginning of season 1 has.
It took a while to really just kind of.
I know because you're just kind of like you're watching it. Not saying that I've rewatched season 1 and it's a lot better the first time you watch it because you're like, oh, I see what they were doing there, and you kind of once you know like the twist in season 1, which is like, oh shit. Once you know the twist in season 1. I'm not gonna spoil it. We'll keep it spoiled for you for the listeners and the watchers. But once you know the twist, you can actually get a decent amount more value out of watching it again because you're kind of like, oh, I see kind of what you're doing there and how you've been teasing the twist and all those different things.
Well, it's like the Sixth Sense, right? Like you watch it the second time and you can see all of the time. Spoiler. You can see all of the times.
We can spoil the Sixth Sense.
You'd be like, oh shit, Bruce Willis never touches a doorknob, you know, and like they'll just like. You never saw him walk into a room with anybody. Like the camera will just cut to him. He's just there for some reason. And then it's because he's a ghost.
It's because he's dead.
Yeah,
the same thing with the one that got me was Fight Club. Fight Club got me.
Yeah, Fight Club.
One of my favorite movies ever because I was actually like pooping myself when that twist came around. I was like, oh my god.
It's a twist.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Again, that's one I feel like we can spoil because it's been for fucking ever. We watched Fight Club, but like it's the same thing where it's just like. Tyler Durden and Ed Norton never talk to the same person when they're in the same scene, and you know if one person is taking charge in Fight Club, the other is often like over in the corner, kind of minding their own business, and you can get those kinds of films and pieces of media where they have that twist. You get a lot of value out of just rewatching it.
Yeah,
so.
my favorite of those twists is how if you look closely and they don't reveal this till the very end of the trilogy. Which I think is a trilogy that does stand on its own for the record, is that you find out that in the Austin Powers trilogy, Mike Myers was actually playing most of the characters the whole time.
I know no one saw that coming.
No
one saw it coming.
Not a single one.
He was even playing Vernon Troy's character.
That's right up there with the best of them. R.I.P. by the way.
I know R.I.P. to Vernon Troyer. That one.
Vern Troyer.
Vern Troyer.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
A man is dead.
Sorry, that was my bad.
A man is.
Vern Troyer, I liked him. I thought he was kind of a funny guy on social media and all these kind of things. That is one there where it's kind of like, oh, that's too sad.
R.I.P. Vern Troyer's Twitter?
I don't know. I liked him. That was fine. I'm not saying I don't have to like personally like the guy. I don't want to put it this way. I think he was fine as like me, but I was kind of like,
what if he was a monster behind the scenes?
I don't think he was. I think he's probably a very like.
You have no way to know.
I bet he was a very upbeat guy because he got like some great roles early in his life, and then he kind of rode that wave, and everyone kind of liked him, and so I think he lived a pretty good life. And rip in peace, and that is one that kind of was like a little sad for me. I was like, oh, that's too bad.
That's the thing, right? I mean, like, that's why people give so much weight to, like, the things that celebrities say, and we pay so much attention to them, because it's like, they're in these narratives, and they, like, just due to the nature of narrative, and if you write it correctly, you get people invested in the characters, right? And so, like, we develop as viewers these emotional attachments to them, and then you go, oh, that's the way we like it, this is my people. You're like, oh, shit, like, this is my favorite person, and they die, and you feel like, you're like, oh, shit, like...
I know, there's
if there's that emotional impact there, when it's like, sort of, not, like, artificial, I want to say, but it's like that didn't, you never knew that person at all, like, in real life. The best you got, maybe saw an interview, or like you saw like a titty pic on TMZ or something by chance, but it's, you never had a real relationship with that person.
But at the same time, it doesn't necessarily matter because people create their relationships with fans and whatever, and you kind of like again you see these people's, they're actors, but you see them as like going through a journey, and you become invested with those characters, and by extension become invested with the actor behind it. I don't know, because again, that's kind of the fun thing about movies is you get to watch someone do something and you can like connect with those people and kind of like figure out who they are and what they do and what they represent. But yeah, on that topic, like there have only ever been like a few people that have died that have like really gotten me. I think the last one, and this is how long ago it was, is probably like Alan Rickman, I think, got me.
I was actually going to bring that up. Yeah, I was going to say, like, fuck, I was like,
Alan Rickman got me pretty hard.
Hans Gruber, no.
Hans Gruber, Severus Snape.
Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest.
That's a movie.
Oh, it's a great movie. You should.
That shit
It's
on VHS.
so much fun. Galaxy Quest is such a fun movie.
Back in the day.
Alan Rickman got me. That was one, because again, I knew him from the Harry Potter series, of course. Like, that's how most people know him. Of course, Die Hard and all the other films he was in. That one was kind of like oof, it hurt. Oof, right in the feels. The one that got me the most, I almost don't even want to bring it up, but it's like, the one that has gotten me the most, and the one that I was actually legitimately sad about was Robin Williams.
That's fair.
That one was the one that was like, that one actually got me really kind of depressed for a little bit.
Patch Adams was deeply troubled.
Because he was again, Robin Williams was one of those guys that was like so much fun to be around. Everyone was always like, he's the nicest guy. And he was like incredibly creative, incredibly charismatic, incredibly incredibly outgoing.
Is he
and
incredibly
fun.
creative?
He's incredibly creative.
What about charismatic?
No, he's incredibly creative.
Outgoing and fun?
Yeah, all those things. All those things and more, Robin Williams.
That was good.
And then he had depression, and that was really sad. So, he was at early onset something or other, so he took his own life and by part that was from depression, and that one was the one that got me really hard. That was like right in the heart.
To end on a high note, picture Robin Williams in Peter Pan tights right now. Just think about it for a second.
Oh, damn, Hook. That's a throwback.
In memoriam, green leggings.
In memoriam. Speaking of, how much time do we have left on this podcast? Woo. Oh, we have to wrap this up, actually.
Do it.
Yeah, we're over an hour.
Okay, well, I got some more stuff to talk about.
I would do one more topic, and then we will wrap this up.
Oh, neat.
Like, we can only do like a maximum of 10 minutes. So
10 more minutes? Oh my god.
Okay, one more topic, James.
Oh my
one more topic.
fucking god. Hold up. All right, hold up. Robin Williams, we're on that right now. We're on another thing. Oh yeah, what was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, real quick. There's a great animated movie. It's like, it is animated, but it's by this dude called Satoshi Kon. The movie's called Perfect Blue, and it's about this like starlet, and she's in like a pop group, right? And then she leaves to become an actor and kind of wants to get out of the actress rather, or whatever. It's a unigender term to get out of the media spotlight. And then it's just like, maybe it's like kind of a thriller because like, oh shit, there's like a stalker who might be obsessed with her, and then it gets like murdery and crazy, and just goes down this rabbit hole of insanity. Really good movie, kind of just addressing that whole like relationship of like viewer to celebrity and like how there's this weird engendered closeness.
Well, I mean, it's sometimes even perceived, right? Have you ever heard of the woman who keeps breaking into Keanu Reeves' house?
What?
Yeah, apparently there's some.
She do anything? Is she just like, hey, Keanu?
Well, the last time she broke in, apparently she was just wading naked in his pool.
Oh no.
So that she got that going for her.
Yeah,
but that's the thing where like,
you can never, like, if you're Keanu Reeves, you can't do, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't have sex with that woman naked in your pool. Cause,
oh no, well, I mean, like, this is a huge issue even with like even minor celebrities, like YouTuber celebrities. Which is people think they have like this deep connection with these people, which is fine. You're allowed to think that, but you don't. You don't have that. Like they do, and it's the same. It's the same. Like not that I don't want to like praise them too much, but people like the Pauls, they apparently they do have people like just show up at their houses, and like PewDiePie has people show up, and Philip DeFranco, and all these people. It happens, and it looks.
Celebrity.
Let me put it this way: it looks insane. If you actually do that kind of shit, you are insane. Do not do that kind of shit. In case one day we happen to become relatively well known, because that's the point of our entertaining. That is literally the goal, is to become kind of well known. So, it's just one of those things where it's like, don't do that shit ever. Like, just because you think you have a connection with someone, you don't have a connection with someone. Like,
get a reasonable job. Just like occupy your attention with not obsession. Yeah. Get a person to call your very own. Get a significant other with whom you connect. Get a good job. And speaking of good jobs, I have a little segment I want to do again called Career Advice, where Chris and I apply.
Okay, we're doing like 5 minutes career advice, but sure,
we'll do it. Career advice, yeah, for jobs that like maybe you want to apply for. And this week it's lab technician. All right, so if you want to become a lab technician, what I would first recommend you do is get a store of chemicals, because like much like in the
James,
film
can I
industry,
cut you off for one moment?
No.
Okay.
Please.
Okay. The first thing you need to do is get a lab coat.
Yeah.
You missed the first step.
Okay.
The moment you put a lab coat on, you instantly just become smarter. Like it's like it literally is like Fallout style appeal, which is like you just put on your like science +5.
Yeah, you get a lab coat. As soon as you look the part, you are the part. And that's very true in a lot of other places as well.
Okay, warehouse full of chemicals, step 2.
If you're in a clown suit, you're a clown. If you're dressed like a doctor, you're basically a doctor. If you're dressed like a lifeguard or an EMT, baby, you're living the dream. For all intents and purposes. Yeah, get a stockpile of chemicals, you know, like just like much like I said, much in the film industry, right? Like the people like if you're gonna hire you for freelance work, they want you to have your own gear. You know, you need to have stuff that you can bring to the table and operate with that you're familiar with and comfortable with. Get a jar of ether, get formaldehyde, get other chemicals. You know, I have no proficiency in chemistry whatsoever, but you're gonna want to have those lying around, as many as you can find, like dimethyl ether, like just like fluoroxacine, you know, just like isomers, other things of that nature, little things that go squirty squirt, you know, your own equipment. Steal it from your school or university laboratory if necessary.
Start building a meth lab.
You could build a meth lab. Yeah.
Have cancer. Recruit a young strapping boy. You know, murder someone in your basement.
Yes. So you're going to want to like inhale some of the chemicals so you know that you're familiar with them. You're going to want to probably get cancer due to many of them having mutagenic and carcinogenic properties. After you have cancer, you're also going to want to be familiar with the whole process of chemical
I feel like you missed my reference there.
And interactions. No. You're going to break this badness all up
fair.
into little meth-sized chunks.
All right, fair. He got the reference.
Who hasn't seen Breaking Bad? What the fuck?
You know who hasn't? Serafina hasn't seen Breaking Bad.
Really? Yo,
Everyone, if you're watching right now, bully Serafina.
Don't bully her but spam her on Twitter. Demand in a very kind and respectful way that she watch Breaking Bad this very instant.
Yes.
Because otherwise,
I've told her for years to do it. But anyways, yes.
Oh man, that isn't like a magnum opus of television. God, Vince Gilligan is just a G.
I know, Jesus Christ.
Everyone involved is a G.
I remember, that was one where it's like everyone watched that show.
But then, cultural phenomena. Yeah, but make meth. You know, like make meth. Make other things, make DMT in a laboratory, make soap, you know, just like whatever, like things to get yourself familiar with the chemical process. So now you've got the skills, you're familiar with your equipment.
You got the look.
You look the part. Yeah, damn right you look the part. Are we missing anything?
You know what we're missing? The end of this show. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Paperfree podcast.
Thank you indeed. Before we go, we'd just like to mention that our sponsor for this week is Muscle Care.
Muscle Care.
It's muscle relaxing. Use it to dilate your anus so you can poop big. Use it to feel wavy. Skateboard after you use it, and when you fall, your muscles won't tense up, and you'll just be able to roll with those punches. Use it before you box so that you turn into jelly, and that your opponent will be like hitting only gelatin. You know.
Yep.
Other ways that you can use Muscle Care.
You can use it on a sore muscle, but that's for pussies. You know what you use it on? Your toes. So you can walk around and not feel your feet. And then it's like you're flying in through the air. Isn't that what we all want?
You'd be like, I'm a guy with feet, but no toes, because you're not feeling those toes anymore.
You don't feel those toes. Then you put it on your knees. And you're like, damn, these knees are wheezy. Yeah. And then, you got wheezy knees. The bee's kneesy wheeze.
Wheezy knees in Louisiana, yeah.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne, the bee's knees. And what you're going to want to do also, the heart is a muscle. A lot of people forget this. Take Muscle Care. Rub it into your heart. You know, if you have high blood pressure and hypertension, your heart's beating too fast, you know? It's a problem.
Just
you get stressed at work, your heart's beating too fast. You're worried about people walking into the room when you're looking at a list of things on the internet, your heart's beating too fast. Slow that ticker down with using Muscle Care. It's your one-step, easy, no fuss, definitely workable and safe and clean way to keep yourself relaxed every single minute of the day.
All right. Ending the show. Goodbye. I'm Chris. This is James. Paperfree Chris.
I'm not Chris.
This is James.
At Paperfree James. Follow me on Twitter.
Follow him on Twitter at Paperfree James.
No one in the world loves me, like I mentioned.
It's just Paperfree James. My name is Paperfree_Chris. It's slightly different.
Keeping
He's going to be creating a YouTube channel soon. I will link it in the description. Please check it out. He's my friend, and he tries hard, and he does good work. And
that's all we can say.
Keep rocking the free world.